let's talk about why the Google Pixel 6 in 2024. Well, the Google Pixel 6 was the biggest change to the Google Pixel line in recent times, being the first phone to incorporate the first Google Tensor chip, which was Google's first homemade chip, and it also was the biggest change in design language, having this new visor and dual-tone look that has continued to this day with the Pixel 9. Safe to say that the Pixel 6 was the most important device in setting up the future for the rest of the Google Pixel line. So I want to take a look at the Google Pixel 6 to see if it's worth considering buying in 2024. And we're going to be testing out the performance, the cameras, the display, and most importantly, the battery life to see if it can hold up with me. It's currently 9:05, the battery percentage is at 100%. Let's get into this day in the life. Okay, so it's currently 10:05, our battery percentage is at 91%. Now let's talk about the display on the Google Pixel 6. So the Google Pixel 6 is equipped with a 6.4-inch AMOLED display, and it can dynamically refresh between 60 to 90 Hz. And honestly, even though it's not 120 Hz, it's actually pretty good still with 90 Hz. I feel like the display is still really smooth, the refresh rate is still locked at 90 Hz most of the time, and I feel like everything is super fluid, especially with Android 15 on here. It's quite impressive to see that a 90 Hz display makes a world of difference compared to 60 Hz display iPhone. It just having that slightly higher refresh rate makes the phone a lot more smoother and a lot more fluid to use. Now we only do have an HD resolution, which is good enough, especially on the 6.4-inch display. We got a 410 pixel per inch display density, so on that side it's not too bad. But however, one downside is that it has some pretty thick bezels. We only have an 83% screen to body ratio, which makes it look a little less flagship and a little less premium compared to other competitors with much slimmer bezels. Now we do have HDR10 Plus certification, which is great to see, but it can only reach a peak brightness of 800 nits with HDR mode, so it's usable in most lighting conditions except for direct sunlight, where it is a bit hard to look at the screen. So altogether, the display here is good, but not that great, especially 2024, so I'm giving the display on here a B. Alright, let's keep going on with this day in the life. Okay, so I've just made it to the university campus. I'm just waiting to meet up with some of my friends to do a Bible study. I had to walk up the hill to get here because there was a pretty big protest down in the city. This is what happens when you live in the capital of a country. But anyway, it's 10:48 and our battery percentage is at 84%. Alright, hopefully they come soon. Right?
It's too easy.
Too easy. Too easy, guys.
Yeah, no, just swap it up and like you just...
Got the Pixel 8 from David Pixel 8.
Oh, sorry, I believe this is my phone.
Size difference.
Next week gives you like a new iPhone 16 Pro.
Interesting. Okay, so we're just kind of waiting for some people to arrive. People are a bit late, but let's talk about the performance on the Google Pixel 6. So the Google Pixel 6 is equipped with the Google Tensor Generation 1 chip. Now this was the first time that Google had ever made their own chipset. Technically, it was made on Samsung's fabrication, but we'll ignore that and just pretend that Google made it completely themselves. And to be honest, the performance actually been pretty alright. I mean, this is an older phone, and the chipset when it first came out was a lot more weaker compared to other phones out there. So the Google Tensor chip was kind of seen as a little bit underneath other chipsets available at the time. We also do have 8 GB of RAM, and so far, I've been finding the performance has been pretty decent. For multitasking and split screen usage, the Google Pixel 6 can handle it well with minimal lags or stutters. However, some heavier apps like YouTube do reload if you haven't used them in a while. When we turn to gaming, the Tensor chip can handle Genshin Impact along with Fortnite at low 45 FPS. Overall, the performance is pretty decent. However, there are two areas that make the Google chip unique. One is very optimized with how it manages its software, which enhances the performance greatly. The fluidity and smoothness is evident with different applications. But secondly, the Tensor chip's biggest issue is thermals. It gets hot pretty quickly without thermal throttling, sustaining performance at the expense of heat. However, if you do push it will start the thermal throttle. While we're happy with the performance for day-to-day activities and its optimization is clearly working, the pure performance and overheating aren't quite flagship level, leading me to give the Pixel 6's performance a B+. Okay, we finished our Bible study. It is 1:08, battery percentage is 71%. Now time to get some on.
What's good, chat? We're back. Toby driving a different car this time. Toby driving Montage. see here. Is this like 20 minutes? We'll swap this one.
The phone. Gonna show the day in the life with the phone, right?
You know, you gotta keep your eye on the road, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, which CD were you using?
I don't even know what the CD is.
I feel like...
So it is currently 2:58. We have made it to the beach. It is now at 59%. So it's actually doing pretty good since we are actually using 5G and we've been using Google Maps to get here. Check out that view. So the Google Pixel 6 is equipped with a dual camera setup. We have a 50 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide, along with an 8 megapixel selfie camera. Now, we can shoot up to 4K. It's pretty good and pretty stable so far. Been enjoying using these cameras, and so far I must say they're very impressive. Okay, so I'm here with Joe. Let's take some photos with Google Pixel 6. Let's take some photos. The Pixel 6 cameras are seriously impressive. Shots from the main wide sensor provide incredible detail, dynamic range, and most importantly, color. Google has always been known for their color in photography, and I can see why. The saturation and skin are defined well with natural but vibrant tones. Shadows and highlights are balanced well and provide incredible depth in the image. Turning on portrait mode, the Pixel does a great job at separating the subject from the background. However, with Joe's hair flying in the wind, it did miss some. In the ultra-wide, the 12 megapixel shooter does a great job in retaining the same colors and overall image quality as the main sensor. However, I will say that the dynamic range is a tiny bit less than the main, and a 0.7x is not the most ultra-wide. There is no optical zoom, so there is a 2x crop mode which punches into the main sensor. The 8 megapixel selfie camera is alright, but a bit of a letdown for such a good camera setup. On the video side, I was also very impressed at how good the quality was. Stabilization, color, and dynamic range were all on point with very impressive image quality. Overall, the Pixel 6 cameras are great for both photos and videos. However, the lack of a telephoto lens and the low-res selfie do lower the camera capabilities. Altogether, the Pixel 6 cameras get an A-. Bye-bye, Joe. Have fun. It's Friday? Okay, so let's talk about the design and the features of the Google Pixel 6. Now, the Google Pixel 6 design is pretty revolutionary because this is the same design language that is used to the Pixel 9 today, and I must say that it's quite a nice design. Especially on the Pixel 6 with its ergonomic curves and sides, I feel like this is one of the best designs for a smartphone ever. I really like how it has this dual tone finish and also has this kind of this visor, which is quite nice for propping your hand against, and it gives you a bit more grip when you're using the phone. Now, it does have glass and aluminium, and it's pretty nice. It does pick up fingerprints pretty easily, unfortunately, which is a bit annoying. But other than that, it is a really nice design. On the front, we do have Gorilla Glass Victus, which is pretty strong, but I do have a screen protector on it anyway. We also do have IP68 water and dust resistance, which is great to see on this phone. Now, on the feature side, we have the whole AI Google Suite, which includes Circle to Search, Magic Editor, Photo Tools, and all of those cool things. And of course, because this is a Google Pixel device, this is the first phone to get any software support. I'm running Android 15 right now on it, and anything that's AI related comes to the Google Pixel first, because it's made by Google. So on that side, the features and the design are pretty good on the Google Pixel 6, and even for an older phone, it does get quite a lot of support, and there's always updates available for this phone here. We also do have 5G, USB 3.1, along with wireless charging and an optical fingerprint scanner. So altogether, I do give the features and the design of the Google Pixel 6 an A. Alright, now I'm gonna eat some dinner with my family, and we'll talk about the battery performance. Okay, so now we've reached the end of my day in the life, and it's currently 9:53 and our battery percentage is at 16%. So let's take a look at the battery performance to see how the Google Pixel 6 did today. So today was a pretty heavy day. We started pretty early in the morning, and I did use a lot of navigation, so that would have a pretty big impact on the battery performance. But The Google Pixel 6 did a pretty good job today, and we got a screen time of 4 hours and 14 minutes. The Google Pixel 6 only has a 4600 mAh battery cell, so the efficiency of the Google Tensor chip along with the software has really helped to maximize the performance of the battery here. So altogether, the battery performance deserves a B+. Now let's talk about the Google Pixel 6 and have a little recap on how it did throughout my day. Starting off with the display was pretty mediocre. It's good enough for basically most tasks, and it doesn't have any standout features. 90Hz refresh rate is decent, but 120Hz would be great. The bezels are a little more thicker than other phones on the market, and altogether it's just a decent display, but nothing great. On the performance side, the Google Tensor chip is actually pretty good for a first generation chipset, and it can do pretty much most tasks that you need. However, there is some limitations, especially when it gets pretty warm quickly. Now, I must say that the gaming is actually pretty impressive. They can do Genshin Impact at high settings, but the overheating is a slight issue. Now, on the camera side, we do have a 50 megapixel main wide camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, which look both really amazing in 2024. I was pretty impressed by how good the quality of these photos were, and I must say that the Google Pixel has some really nice cameras. Now, the 8 megapixel selfie camera is a little bit behind, but overall the camera package as a whole was pretty impressive. On the features and design side, I really like the Google Pixel 6 design. We also do get the Google AI Suite, and we also do get pretty much the latest updates from Google since it is the Google phone. Now altogether, the Google Pixel 6 gets a 77 rating out of 100 or a B+. Now I must say that out of the last 3 phones that I've been testing as part of my switching to Android experience, the Google Pixel 6 is definitely my favorite. I really like the software, it's clean, there's no bloatware, the battery performance is great, and the performance is just enough. Now obviously I would like a better display, and the cameras, well, a telephoto and a better selfie camera would be also really appreciated. But altogether, I must say that the Google Pixel 6 is a really nice phone. And especially when you can find around $200 US, I think this could be a good deal for some of you who don't need to do high-end graphics gaming and you aren't too concerned about a telephoto or a really good selfie camera. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.